Hello, Carinites. Good day and welcome back to class. Yeah, as you can see, what we have here on the table, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful shirt today using the lucky foot pattern. I think that's the name. Look at that, beautiful, but then fun to work with. It's not. I'm not trying to scare you, but if you are a beginner, a complete beginner, I will not suggest this as your first, second, or even fifth project because it might get a little bit confusing. But if you like challenging projects, you love to be challenged, then why not? It's quite simple, but then working around it to make a shirt is a little bit tricky. And in advance, I will apologize in case my way of explaining is a little bit difficult for you to comprehend. Trust me, this is the best way I can explain, and I hope you get it. So I tried my possible best to explain this so that you can work with it. And also we'll be dropping a matching short for this pattern next week. So if you are not yet a subscriber, click that subscribe button. And guess what? We are 10,000. We clicked the 10,000 subscribers this month. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you all for making this possible. Yeah, road to 15k. Yeah, that's the goal for the year. So back to the tutorial. I'll be taking you through the materials we'll be needing to make this beautiful shirt, and we are going to jump right into the tutorial. So these are the few materials we'll be needing. We'll be needing balls of yarn. I'll be working with 4 colors. You can decide to use 2 colors. The least you can use for this pattern to actually pop, you need at least 2 colors. So as for me, I'll be working with 4 colors. We are making a matching shirt for the dress, for the baby girl dress we dropped last week, so you can do it to check it out. So I'll be using this brand Yeye. It's 100% acrylic and it is a fingerling yarn. So I'll be working with a strand because I love to work with a strand for my shirt. It makes it lightweight. But then I think some of these days I'm actually going to make a shirt using double strand, but for this tutorial we are sticking to our 1 strand. So I'll be using less than a ball each for the color, and the hook size I'll be using in the course of this tutorial is size 3.0 mm hook. We'll be needing stitch markers around 4 pieces. We'll be needing measuring tape, very important. You'll be needing a pair of scissors for cutting, very important as well. And we'll be needing tapestry needle. Also be needing button. It's quite optional. You can decide not to add button to yours, but I will be using these 2 buttons for my shirt. And that being said, I think these are the materials we'll be needing in the course of this tutorial. So let's get started. So to kickstart our shirt, the size I'm making is for size 12 to 18 months. So we are going to be needing some few measurements. We'll be needing 3 measurements. We're needing the chest round measurement, the length of the shirt, and also the armhole measurement. These are the 3 main measurements we'll be needing. So for the chest round measurement, I'll be leaving some on the screen. So for 0 to 6 months, you consider 18 inches. 6 to 12 months, you consider 20 inches, while 12 to 18 months, I'll consider 22 inches. So for 12 to 24 months, you can consider 24 or 25 inches. These are suggestions. In case the toddler you are making this for is quite big, you might need to add more to the measurements suggested. So like I said, I'll be leaving some few measurements on the screen. So to start, whatever your chest round measurement for the size you are making is, you are going to be dividing that by 2. So for me that I'm doing for 12 to 18 months, the chest round measurement is 22 inches. So 22 inches divided by 2, that will give me 11 inches. So if you are doing for 6 to 12 months, the chest round measurement is 20 inches. So 20 inches divided by 2, that is 10 inches. So we are going to be making a chain that is that length, because we'll be working our shirt in 2 panels, the front and the back panel. So we are starting with the back panel first. So you go ahead and make a chain that is around the half measurement of your total chest round. So for me, my chest round measurement is 22, while the half will be 11 inches. So we go ahead and make a foundation chain that is 11 inches long. And here is it. whatever your chain is going to be, make sure it's a multiple of 4. I mean, any number that you are going to be using, make sure it is divisible by 4. So I'll make a chain. I'll make a knot, sorry. So with my 3.0 mm hook, and I'll start making my chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 chains. I will go ahead and keep going until I have the chain that is 11 inches long. So here I have 64 chains. I want to grab my measuring tape so that we can take the measurement together. So right here from the top, now we go ahead without stretching. As you can see, in fact, it's around 12 inches. But remember, the pattern is more like a mesh. It has a little bit of mesh, so it shrinks. So this is around 12 inches. So like I said, make sure it's a multiple of 4. So after that, we are going to add one more chain, which is our turning chain. So right now we are going to start our larksfoot pattern. I think that's the name of the pattern. So we are going to skip 3 chains. This is not a chain, this is a loop. So we start counting from here. So we count 1, 2, 3. We are going to skip those 3, and into the 4th chain we are going to work a double crochet. As you can see, I yarn over, you go right in, you pull out a loop. You have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. So this one that we just did, making our second double crochet. So we go ahead and add one more. You go into the next stitch, you work one more double crochet. So we skipped 3 chains, which is our first double crochet. We worked a double crochet in the next chain, that's our second. We worked another double crochet in the next chain, that's our third double crochet. So in total we have 3 double crochets now. So after that, you chain 1, and then you go ahead, you skip 1 chain as well. Chain 1, skip 1. So I'll skip the next chain, then I'll move to the next one, I'll work 1 double crochet. I'll move to the next chain, I'll work 1 double crochet. I'll move to the next chain again, I'll work 1 double crochet. So we are going to work 3 double crochets in total, just like that. Then you go ahead, you chain 1 again, you skip 1, then you move to the next, you work a double crochet, you move to the next, you work a double crochet, you move to the next, you work a double crochet. After completing 3 double crochets, you chain 1 and skip 1. Again, you start again. You are going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. After that, chain 1, skip 1. So we go ahead and keep repeating this pattern. 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1. So you go ahead, repeat this until you get to the very end. So this is what I have after completing my first row. So as you can see, it's more like a mesh pattern. Remember when we took the measurement after making the chain, it was given around 12 inches. Remember I said it shrinks. So this is what we have after working the first row. As you can see, is now around 10 inches, but after working few rows, it's going to stretch a little, and we are going to have our 11 inches. So after that, moving on to the next row, you can start with chain 3, but as for me, I want to keep a straight edge, so I'll go right into my first stitch. You can see that I did not chain, I just turned my work. I'll go right into my first stitch, I'll work a single crochet, and you see these 2 loops you have right in front of you. I'll go into this one at the back and work and pull out a loop, then work another single crochet. It's not like we worked 2 single crochet on each other. So after that, this now counts as my first double crochet, but if you feel like you don't want this, you can just go ahead and chain 3. So after doing that, you move into the next, you work your double crochet. We are repeating what we did on the first row. You move to the next, you work a double crochet, you chain 1, you skip the chain 1 space, you go ahead and work double crochet on top of your previous double crochets. So it's just repetition of what we did in first row. You work double crochet on where you have double crochet, you chain 1 where you have chain 1. So chain 1 and skip the next space, you work 3 double crochets on the next group of double crochets. You chain one, you skip the space as well, and you keep going until you come right to the end. When I get to the end, I will come and show you what to do. So I want to work my last double crochet. So you see the chain 3 we skipped at the beginning. On top of the third chain, that's where we are going to be working our last double crochet. And this is my second round. So I'm not going to finish my double crochet in that color. I'll be switching to my second color. So I'm going to complete that double crochet in this second color, and I'll chain one. Then I'll go ahead and tie. So for the third row, we are going to be doing something different. Watch closely. So I'm going to fasten this off. So our first color, which is white, I'm going to fasten that off. So I'm going to turn, and I'm going to do my 2 single crochets. Remember, like I said, it is optional. If you prefer chaining 3, please go ahead and do that. So I'll first work a single crochet, then I'll go through this loop right here at the back and work my second single crochet. So I have my double crochet like that. So after doing that, I'll chain one chain, then we are going to skip this middle stitch, move to the next, and work a double crochet. So like this, we have double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Then after that, you see this mesh space that we have, that we skipped. You're going to yarn over, then you go right under. You're going to skip this one, you go under this space. You can see that we have 2 rows of chain 1 space. You are going into this one below. So yarn over, you go right in and pull up. It's going to be like a spike stitch. Then you go ahead and work your double crochet. So it's more like a spike. So we have 1, 2. Then you go ahead and work a double crochet into the next. We will always have 3 double crochets. You always have a group of 3 double crochets. So after completing that, you chain 1, you skip the next stitch into the next one. Here, right here, you work a double crochet. You can see we are at this space, chain 1 space. So you go under, grab your yarn, pull up, and work a double crochet, more like a spike, as you can see. Then we move to the next stitch, we work a double crochet, just like this. And after that, after every time you complete your 3 double crochets, you always chain 1 and you skip the next stitch. So we are going to skip the next stitch and move to the next one. Work a double crochet, that's 1. You work your spike stitch, make sure it's not too tight. 2. Then move to the third, move to the next stitch and work your third double crochet, just like that. Then you chain 1 and you start again, skip the next. So you just keep repeating the pattern. You work a spike stitch into the next, double crochet, then you move to the next one, you work a double crochet, just like that. Then you go ahead again, you chain 1, you skip the next stitch, and you keep repeating until you get to the very end. So I am almost at the end. So when you get to the end, you have 2 stitches left. You're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, then you move to the last stitch on top of the last stitch and work a double crochet. So we started with a double crochet, chain 1, and we finished with chain 1 double crochet. So we repeated the same thing we started with. So that completes row 3. So moving on to row 4, I'm going to turn, no chain. Now we'll go into my first stitch here. Remember, a single crochet. Now we'll go on top and work a single crochet again. Like I said, you can always chain 3 if you don't want this. So after that, you chain 1. You're going to repeat row 2, where we are just going to be working 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So you chain 1 for this chain space we have here, then you go ahead and work 1 double crochet on each of the double crochets below. 1, 2, and 3. After that, you chain 1 and you skip your chain 1 space as well. You go ahead and start working your double crochets on the previous double crochets. So practically we are repeating round 2 or row 2. So we are repeating what we have below. So where you have 3 double crochets, you work 3 double crochets on top. Where you have chain 1 space, you work chain 1 space. After that, you chain 1, you skip the next space and move to the next stitch. You work a double crochet on it, you work a double crochet on it, you work a double crochet on it. So we just go ahead and keep repeating this until we get to the very end. So I am right here at the end of round 4, of row 4, sorry. So I'm going to be switching colors. I will be switching colors every 2 row. So you can decide to do the same thing or add more rows. That's up to you. So I will not complete my last double crochet in this color. I'm going to switch to color pink. I'm going to complete my double crochet in that color. Then I will chain 1 to secure that. Then I'll go ahead, make a knot. I'll make a knot, and after doing that, I'll fasten off the previous color, and I'll start working with my new color. So I'm going to turn my work, and we are going to start our row 5. So remember the 2 single crochets. Like I said, it's totally up to you. If you don't want, you can go ahead and always chain 3. So that's my first double crochet. So right now we'll be repeating row 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So after working, this is my first double crochet. So my next double crochet will be over this chain 1 space. So yarn over, we go right underneath, pull out a loop, and work our double crochet. So that's 2. Then we go ahead, move to the next double crochet right here, this right here. So that's 3. We have 3 double crochets. Then we chain 1, you skip the next stitch, you move to the next, you work a double crochet, and this mesh space, this chain 1 space, you go right underneath. Whenever you get to the chain space, after you have 2 rows, you go under and work a double crochet. And after that, I'll move to the next and work a double crochet. Like I said, your double crochet must always be 3, except for this row where you have 1 double crochet at the end, then chain 1, except for that row. After that, you will always have 3 double crochets, group of 3 double crochets. So this is what we have. I hope I'm not getting you confused, and I hope you are getting the hang of the pattern. So right now, if you understand the pattern now, you will see that what we have left is repetition. So you chain 1, you skip the next chain, the next stitch, and move to the next, you work a double crochet. After working a double crochet, the next is the chain 1 space, you yarn over, you go right under. You are going to skip this, you go under, pull out a loop, and work a double crochet. And after that, you move to the next double crochet and work a double crochet. You chain 1, you skip the next stitch, then you move to the next, you work a double crochet. You have the chain 1 space, you go right underneath, pull out a loop, you work your double crochet. Then you move to the next stitch right here, you work your double crochet, making 3, you chain 1, and you keep repeating. So this is what we have. So I will go ahead, repeat this. When I get to the end, I will come and show you what next to do. So I'm right here, almost at the end. So I'm going to skip here. I have my 3 double crochets completed, so I'm skipping the next. So I'll move here, 1. I have chain 1 space here, so I'll go right under, work my double crochet, that's 2. Then on my last stitch here, I'll work my last double crochet. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, our pattern is coming together. So for the next row, which is row 6, I'm going to turn, and I'll start my row with my 2 single crochets. Like I said, you can always chain 3. I have to work my single crochet again. So I have my 2 single crochets done. So for this row, it's just repetition of row 2. We are going to work our 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. We are going to follow what we have below. So you just go ahead, go into the next, you work a double crochet, you move to the next, you work a double crochet, then chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, double crochet, double crochet, then double crochet, and after that chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, and we go ahead and keep repeating this pattern until we get to the very end. After that, I will come and show you how we are going to do the next 2 rows. Then you go ahead and keep repeating the pattern. I believe we must have gotten the hang of it, but then I'm going to work the last color with you guys. Then you go ahead and keep repeating the pattern yourself until you get to the length of the shirt that you want. So the last color I'll be using is the 4th color is navy blue. So to finish my last double crochet, I'm not going to finish in this color. I'm going to be switching to the dark blue and chain 1. Now go ahead, I'll make knots, and after that I'm going to fasten off the previous color and turn and work my single crochet, then a single crochet on it. So that's my first double crochet. So the row we are repeating row 3, where we have a double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1, like that. That's what we are repeating. After that we repeat the next row. After that we repeat this. So the repetition now is from row 3 to row 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, row 3 to row 6. That's what we'll be repeating now. So we chain 1, you skip the next stitch, then you go ahead and work double crochet in the next stitch. That's after skipping 1, you work a double crochet. Then as you can see, the next one is the spike stitch, and that is the chain space we have here. So we go right below and work your spike stitch just like that. Then you move to the next, you work a double crochet. After that, you chain 1, you skip the next stitch, you move to the next, you work a double crochet. After that, you go to your chain 1 space, you go right below, you work your spike stitch, then move to the next, you work a double crochet. After that, chain 1, skip the next stitch, into the next, you work a double crochet. The chain 1 space, you are going to work your spike stitch as usual, then you work a double crochet in the next. So that's just a repetition. You go ahead, I'll go ahead and complete this, and I'll come and show you how to do the next row. Then after that, you go ahead and continue working the pattern on your own. So I'm almost at the end of the 7th row. Yeah, look at that color combination, very beautiful. So after completing, almost done, so I have my 3 double crochets. So I'll chain 1, I'll skip the next stitch, and into the very last stitch I'll work a double crochet. So the same way we started is how we finished. So after that, I'm going to turn and I'll work my 2 single crochets, and after that we just follow what you did previously. You chain 1, work your double crochet, work your 3 double crochets. You just follow what you have previously, just work on it just like that. So you work 3 double crochets where you have 3 double crochets, you chain 1 where you have chain 1. So that's just what you are going to be repeating for this row. So you have 3 double crochets, you chain 1, you skip the chain 1 space, you work your 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. You just go ahead, keep repeating this. When you have this completed, I'll cut off this color. I don't know if you're following my the way I'm changing color. So I'll cut off this color, go back to color white, then I will go ahead. We are repeating this row or this row. It's just repetition. So for the next row, you are going to work a double crochet, then you work your spike stitch, then you work a double crochet on it. So you have your 3 double crochets, you chain 1, you skip this, then you work your double crochet here, you work your spike stitch, you work your double crochet here, you chain 1, you skip. So you just go ahead. Remember, I believe we've gotten the hang of it. In case you are still confused, kindly rewind the video and watch again. You're going to I think I've tried enough to explain the pattern as simple as possible, but in case you're still finding it confusing, kindly rewind the video and watch it again. It's actually very simple. So I will go ahead, this is the back panel. I'll go ahead and keep repeating this until I have the length I want. So the full length of the shirt I want is 11 inches. I'm not working ribbing for my shirt. I'm just going to be working a single crochet around the entire base, so I'm not working ribbing on it. So when I have just one row left to complete my the total length I want for my shirts, I'll come and show you how we are going to work the last row. It's going to be a little bit different, and make sure that that last row is this row where we are working the spike stitch. I will go ahead, I'll keep repeating until I have the length I want. I have just one row left to complete the full length of my shirt, and I'll make sure that the row I have left to do is this spikes, this row where we are working our spike stitch. So I will come and show you how we are going to come to work that. So I'm doing for what's it called, 12 to 18 months. So I'll be working with 12 inches, not 11 inches. I'll be leaving size chart on the screen so you can know the length you are working with. So when I have 11.5 inches length, I will come and show you how we are going to be working the last row. So here I am. I did a total of 1 2 3 4. That's 4 times 4, 16. That's 16. So 16 times 2, that's 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So I have 36. And for my final row, and that 36 rows gives me, I'm trying to take the measurement, I have 11, a little above 11 inches. So I'll be doing just one more row for my final. I'll be adding one more row to it, and that will be in color pink. Remember, as you can see, after this color, after the aqua blue, I have the pink. So I'll be working with my blue color. So to work your final row, like I said, make sure that the final row you are working is the spike row where you are working your spike. So after that, I'll grab my new color and switch. I'll change color, chain 1, then I'll make a knot, then fasten off the old color or the previous color. Then to work the final row, we are going to turn, and I'll start with my what's it called, my 2 single crochets as usual. So I'll go right in, my first single, then the second one on top. So right now we are going to be working a double crochet in all stitches. We are not making any chain 1 again, and we are still working our mesh stitch. So this is a chain 1 space, so we go ahead and work our we are still working our spike stitch, sorry. So I'll work my spike, and I'll go ahead, continue working my double crochets. Normally after working these 3 double crochets we are going to chain 1, but we are not chaining 1 again because this is our final row. So we go ahead, continue working your double crochets until you get to the chain 1 space, then you work your spike stitch. This is the chain 1 space. I will go ahead, I'll work my spike stitch, then I'll go ahead and continue my double crochets again. Then when I get to the chain 1 space right here, I'll go ahead, work my spike stitch. So I will go ahead and continue this until I have the row completed. So coming to the end of the row, work my last spike stitch, then I'll go ahead and work my last double crochet. So right here, this is what it looks like. You can see that we don't have any mesh space at the top. After that, you chain 1, and I will go ahead and fasten off, and that measures, I want to take the measurement, so from the top right here, as you can see, is around 11.5 inches. That will do, because if I had one more row at the top and I do the last this thing, it's going to be way longer than what I wanted. So this will do, and it stretches. So after washing, this is definitely going to, let's say I block, is definitely going to be over 12 inches. So this is fine, and this is what it looks like. So we have the back panel completed. So right now we are going to be working our front panel, and we are going to be following the exact pattern and the measurements. Remember, the same number of foundation chain you used for the back panels, what you are going to be using for the front panel as well. So because we need two identical panels, so for the front panel, you are not going to be completing the exact number of rows that you did here, because we are going to be shaping the neckline. So the total number of rows that you did, you are going to be dividing that by 3. So this is 37. Let me remove the last stitch at the top, the last row at the top rather. I will have 36. So 36 divided by 3, that will give me 12. So I will continue, I will start my front panel until I have 12 rows remaining. So 12 rows with this one row that I removed, that will be 13. So I will keep going until I have 13 rows remaining. So as for you, if you have a whole number, I mean for your row, maybe you did 36 instead of 37 as mine, so you go ahead and continue until you have 12 rows remaining. If you do more rows, you are going to divide it by 3. Then whatever you have is what you are going to be subtracting from your total distance. So you are going to work your rows until you have that number of rows remaining. Like I said, this is 36 excluding the last row. This is 36 rows. 36 rows divided by 3 is 12. So I will continue working my row until I have 12 rows remaining. So that's how you're going to be doing your own calculation as well. So 12 rows including this last row. So I'll keep going until I have 13 rows remaining. If yours is 12 rows, you keep going until you have 12 rows remaining. If yours is 10, same goes to you. So when I have my 12 with one, when I have 13 rows remaining, I will come back and show you how we are going to start shaping the neckline. So this is what I have for my front panel. So this is the back panel, and we did a total of, I did a total of 37 rows, and I said I removed the extra row, so I need an even number. I need a number that is divisible by 3, and 36 is divisible by 3. So I removed the extra one. So 36 divided by 3, that's 12, right? So I did 24. So I have my second panel done. So remember, I did 37 rows in total, and I removed the extra one. I need a number that is divisible by 3, which is 36. So I removed the last row we did at the top. So I have 36. 36 divided by 3, we are going to have 12. 12 in 3 places, right? So we had 2 together, that's 24. I did 24, and the extra one at the top making 25. So I did 25 rows in total, and I'm left with 24. So we are going to be using the 24. I'm left with 12, sorry. So I'm going to be using the 12 rows left for the collar and the neckline. So you're just going to, whatever the total number of the row you did, you're going to be dividing that by 3. If it's not divisible by 3, you're going to put the extra, you're going to set the extra aside. Then the number that is divisible by 3, after dividing it by 3, whatever you get is what you are going to do. So whatever you have after dividing by 3 is what you are going to be using to shape your collar and the neckline. I hope this is clear enough. So I have 12 rows remaining. So this is what we are going to do. You are going to count your total number of stitches. As for me, I have 63. So for the collar, so I have 63, like I said earlier. And if for the polo, for the neckline, for the polo, I'm going to be leaving 7 stitches in the middle. So you are going to be leaving 7 as well. If you are doing for adult size, then you might need to leave like 9. So what you have left, you should have an even number left. So whatever you have left, you are going to divide it by 2. Then you are going to, that's what we are going to be having on each side. I have 63. So taking away 7, I'll be left with 56. Yeah, 63 minus 7 will be left with 56. So 56 divided by 2, I'm left with 28 stitches on each side. So I have 28 here, I have 28 here, and I have 7 in the middle. So we are going to be working on each panel first now. So on each side rather. So I'm going to work, since my last is on this side, my last row is on this side, we are going to be working on this side first, then we'll come and complete the other side. So let me set the back panel aside, grab my hook. So if your row is mostly, your last row here is going to be this spike row. That will be the last row for this before we start our the collar part. So you're going to chain one, sorry, not chaining one, I'll just turn. I will do my 2 single crochets. So I will just go ahead, work my normal pattern until I get here inside this chain one space. That will be my last stitch. So when I get here, I'll come and show you what to do. So as you can see, my last stitch is this chain one space. So I'll just go in and work 1 double crochet in the chain one space. So that completes the round. So remember, I have 12 rows left to complete my panel, my front panel. So you are going to be dividing that, whatever your number of rows that you are doing, you're going to be dividing it by 2. So I have 6, right? But we are going to be adding, so yeah, we are going to divide it by 2. That's 6. So we are going to be working 6 rows for the polo, then 6 rows for the neckline. Because the neckline, we are going to be making some reductions. So we are going to be working regular 6 rows now, then we are going to be working 6 rows for the reduction. I hope that makes sense. Remember, we have 12 rows left. If you have 8 rows left, you are going to divide it by 4. So you're going to be doing 4 rows of regular your regular pattern, then 4 rows of reduction. So as for me, it is 12. So I'll do 6 rows of regular pattern, then 6 rows of reduction. I hope that makes sense. So right now I'm going to be switching color. So now to work the next row, remember our next spike is supposed to be here, right here. So you're going to turn. I'm going to work my 2 single crochets. So that's my first. Remember, the spike is supposed to be here. So 1. So instead of 3 for this first batch, we are going to be working just 2. So 1, 2, you chain 1, then you skip, then you move to the next, then you start working in 3. 1, then you work your spike. So we are just following the pattern so that we don't end up scattering our pattern. We don't end up messing up with our pattern. So 1, 2, 3. If it's after doing your own division, if it's just 1 double crochet you need to do before you chain, you need to adjust that. I'm just following my own. I hope you are getting this, and I hope I'm not confusing you. So you're going to skip. You just follow the same pattern we've been doing. You just follow it. 2 spike, and the last one. So I'm just repeating the pattern. So I will go ahead and continue working this pattern until I have 6 rows on this side. Then I'll come and show you how we are going to start working our reduction. So this right here, I have my 6 rows done. Started from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you can see that I maintained the pattern. So right now we are going to start making reduction, and we are only going to reduce on this side, the neckline. So even if you are working on the other side, you will only reduce inside here. You are not reducing on the other side. We are only reducing inside. So to start, we are going to start our normal pattern, and I will go ahead and work my pattern until I have like 2 or 3 stitches to the end, and I will come and show you how we are going to do the reduction. So I have 3 stitches left, the chain 1 space, this and this. So I'm going to chain 1 for the chain 1 space. So I have these 2 stitches left. So I'm going to make double crochet 2 together. So I'll yarn over, I'll go into my stitch, pull out a loop, yarn over, put through the first 2 loops, then yarn over again. I will now go into the very last stitch, pull out a loop. I have 4 loops, yarn over, put through the first 2 loops, yarn over, put through the next 2 loops, and yarn over, put through the last 2 loops. So we just reduced 2 stitches into 1. So we made the reduction. So before I finish that, I'm going to, the last group, I'm going to change my color. So I'm changing back to color white. So I'll make knots. Now fasten off the previous color. So I'm going to chain 1, because I changed color there. So I'm going to turn. So right now we are making another reduction. Remember, we have one stitch here and we have the what's it called, the chain two, the chain one space, sorry. So we are going to skip this. We are not making anything here. So, or we can actually do double crochet two together that we did. You go inside, pull out a loop, yarn over, put through two, then yarn over, go right inside and work your spike just like that. You have 3 loops, yarn over, put through two, yarn over, put through two. So we reduce these 2 stitches into one. We just have one hand here. So in case you're a beginner and to avoid confusion, you can actually mark the first stitch. So I have that marked, so I'll just go ahead with my normal pattern. So you chain one, you skip here, and you continue your pattern. 1, 2. So I will go ahead, complete this. After that, chain one, I will turn, then work my pattern. When I'm almost at the end here, I will come and show you how we are going to do our reduction again. So I am right here at the end. I have the chain one space, this and this left. So I'm going to chain one. So I have these 2 stitches with left. I'm going to reduce these 2 stitches into one. Yarn over, you go in, pull out a loop, yarn over, put through one, put through two, you yarn over, then you go into the last stitch, pull out a loop, yarn over, put through two. You have 3 loops, yarn over, put through two, yarn over, put through two. Okay, I'm going to be switching colors. So we just made our reduction. So I'm switching to this color. So I'm going to finish that reduction in this color. And I'll chain one. Now make knots. I'll fasten off the old color. Then turn. So we are starting with the reduction. So we are supposed to have a spike stitch here, and we have just 1 stitch here. We have to eliminate this. You can actually let go of this and just work your and just start with your spike stitch, but I'm going to be reducing it, what we did here earlier. So I'm going to yarn over, I'll go in, pull out a loop, I'll yarn over, put through the first 2 loops, then I'll yarn over, then I'll work my spike stitch. So we are still reducing 2 stitches into one. And I'm going to mark that stitch. Then I'll go ahead with my pattern. So this is okay. We're working this here. Now remember, we are going to be having a spike stitch around here. So you chain one, you skip that. Just make sure that you follow the pattern. It can be quite confusing, but when you get the hang of it, you just work your pattern easily. So I'll go ahead, complete this, then work the next row until I get here. Then I'll come and show you how to make the reduction. So I have my 6 rows done. So right now we are going to be we are going to start making our reduction. We are going to start making reductions. We are going to be reducing two stitches on each row, and we are only reducing inside on this side for the neckline. So we are not reducing at this end, we are only reducing here. So when we are working the other hand to the other panel, the other side, we always reduce inside this side as well, not the other side. So I will go ahead and work my pattern all the way until I have around these 4 stitches left, and I will come and show you how we are going to make our reduction. So like I said, we are always going to be reducing by 2 stitches. So this is what I have left. I'm going to work a single crochet here. So I am going to skip this chain one and this stitches. So I'll just go ahead and work my last single crochet here, my last double crochet rather. So I'll skip this. Instead of chaining one, I'm not chaining one. I'll skip this as well. So into the very last stitch, I'll just go ahead, make a double crochet. So I'm not going to finish that double crochet in this color. I'm going to switch to color white. So I'm going to finish in this color, chain one to secure that, then I'll make a knot. So to start the next row, we are going to remember we are reducing by 2 stitches. So and remember, this chain one space is not here again. So here is what we are going to do. We're going to work our first stitch right here, which is 2 single crochets. Then we are going to skip the next 2 stitches. So we are skipping these 2. Then we go here. Then we start working our pattern. Work your spike stitch. You just follow your pattern. And 3. And after that, you chain 1. You skip. So whichever way you can do your reduction, just go ahead. Just make sure you are reducing by 2 stitches. So we've reduced 2 times already. So this is what we have. So I will go ahead, complete this row, then go ahead, work the other row. When I get to the end here, I will come and show you how we are going to do the reduction. So I am right here at the end, and as you can see, we have 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to be skipping these 2, and I'll work my last double crochet in the last stitch here. So I'm going to be switching color. So the next reduction, remember we are making 6 rows for reduction too. I think we have 1, 2, 3. We've done 3, so we have 3 left. So we are reducing the first 2 stitches. So you will always work your first stitch. Actually, we are reducing the next 2 stitches, which is this double crochet and this chain 1 space. So I'll go ahead, work my first stitch here, my single crochet, then I'll skip these 2 stitches, which is this double crochet and the chain 1 space, and I will go ahead and work here. Make sure you are following the pattern. We are supposed to have a spike stitch here, so you chain 1, skip, and continue with your pattern. I just hope you're not confused. So 3. So I will go ahead, complete this pattern, this row. Then I will go ahead, work the second row. When I get to the end here, I'll come and show you how we are going to do the reduction. So I'm right here at the end. We have 3 stitches left, the chain 1 space, this right here, and this. So I'm going to be skipping these 2. I'll just go ahead and work my last stitch right here. Now we'll be finishing this in my last color, which is pink. So you remember the last row that we did, we are not going to be chaining 1, we are just going to be working regular distance, but at the same time we are going to be making our final reduction. So I'm talking about this row that we did right here at the top. So that's where we are. So I'm going to turn, then okay, yeah, work my single crochet as usual, my 2 single crochets, then skip the next 2 stitches because we are making a reduction. So I'm skipping these 2, then I'll work here. Remember, we are not chaining 1 again, so you just go ahead and work your double crochet, work your spike stitch where you need to work, and just work double crochet on each double crochet. No more chain 1 because this is our final row. So just work your regular double crochet, just like that. And I hope the pattern is not confusing. Okay, I'm almost at the end and my final double crochet. Okay, I have a spike stitch to make here, then I'll make my final double crochet inside this last stitch. Chain 1, and this is what we have. As you can see that we have the neckline, you can see that shape. So this is what we have. So we are going to fasten off, and we are going to be making the second side. I'm going to leave it long too, so that I'll be using that to join. So that's what we have. So right now we are going to be making our second side. I'm actually going to be taking you through it. I wouldn't want you to get confused because this is quite confusing. I can testify to that. So so our last row here was on this right side, so we'll be turning and we're going to be working from here, from this chain 1 space. Remember, that was where we finished our distance on this side, our last stitch for me though. So I'm going to work here. I'll start with my 2 single crochets, and I'll go ahead and work my pattern. Remember, we are going to be working our regular pattern for 6 rows. So when I have that 6 rows done, I will come and work the reduction round rows. I'm going to be working it with you. So I'm going to start the reduction with you guys. So I'm going to turn, and I'm going to work my 2 single crochets. So that's my first stitch, and we are going to be skipping the next 2 stitches, which is these 2. So I'll skip this and the chain 1 space. So I'll just jump right here and continue working my pattern. So I will just go ahead, I'll complete this row, switch colors, then come back when I get to the front here where we need to make the reduction. I'll come and show you how to do that. So I'm right here at the end here where we are going to be making our reduction. So I have these 3 stitches left, 1 2 3. So I'm going to be skipping these 2, and I'll make my final stitch and this last stitch here. So this is what we have. So working the next row, I'll work my single crochet, that's my first stitch, and I'll be skipping the next 2 stitches, which are these 2 stitches. So I'll just move here and continue working my pattern. So it's actually not that serious. You're just going to always skip 2 stitches. So I will go ahead, complete this pattern, switch colors, then come back here. When I get here, I'll come and show you how to do the reduction. So I am right here. I have 3 stitches left, which is the chain 1 space, this and this. So I'm going to be skipping the chain 1 space and this. So I'll work my last double crochet here. So for the next row, I'll be skipping the next 2 stitches, which is this double crochet and this chain 1 space. So I'll be skipping the 2, so I'll just move here. So I will go ahead, complete this row, switch color to color of pink, then I will come and work our final row together. For the final row, remember that we are not chaining 1, we are just working our double crochet. So no chain 1, work your double crochet where you need to work your double crochet, and you work your spike stitch where you need to work your spike stitch. So right here, I work my spike stitch, then continue with the pattern. Almost done with the row. So I'm almost at the end. Work my spike stitch. Pick that again. Yeah. So I have 1 2 3 4. Okay, let me do this. So I have 3 stitches left. 1 2 3. We skip the 2 and work our final stitch. I'll chain 1. I'll leave a long tail for joining, and that's enough. Right there we have this done. So as you can see, this is what our front panel looks like after shaping the neckline. As you can see that we have the neckline there. So right now, before we join or before we work the sleeve, we are going to be working on this part here. So for my collar and this side and my where we are going to be having the buttonhole, I'll be using the deepest shade, which is this deep blue. So remember we did 6 rows, 6 regular rows before we start our reduction, and that ends here. So we are going to be working all the way here. So we are working sideways now. I'll grab my yarn, now make a knot, now enter into that row, which is this first row in this color. The second row is where I started my reduction, so right here. And we are going to be working with single crochet. So we are going to be working 2 single crochets in each row, 2 So I have 1, 2. Then I'll move to the next. You can work 1 here, 1. Then the second one we go in here, 2. Trying to hide that tail along. So moving to the next, which is this, we have 1, then 2. So I think in total we should be having 12 single crochets because we are working on 6 rows and we are working 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, and the final one, 1, 2. And remember we left 7 stitches right here in the middle, so we'll be working in the back loop of the 7 stitches. So when I mean back loop, when we want to enter into our stitches, we go through these 2 loops. The one right in front of us is called the front loop, while the one at the back is called the back loop. So we'll be working into the back loop for now, and when we are doing the second side, we'll be working in the front loop. So after completing the 12 single crochets, you go right into the back loop, you make a slip stitch, 1, you go into the next back loop, you make a slip stitch. So we made 2 slip stitches and you turn. And we are going to skip those 2 slip stitches that we just did. It might be a little bit difficult because it's quite deep, the color is quite deep. So you are going to skip 1, 2, the 2 slip stitches, then you start working into your single crochet. We are always going to maintain 12 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the last one, 12. Again, you chain 1 and you turn. Then I'll work 12 single crochets again. So when I have my 12 single crochets, I'll come and show you how we are going to work here. So I have my 12 single crochets done. Then we move to the next, which is this. You slip stitch into the back loop, 1, and our chain 1 space is part of our stitches. You're going to slip stitch into the back loop. Then you turn. Remember, you skip the 2 slip stitches, 1, 2. Then you go into your single crochet and you start working. So I'll go ahead, complete my 12 single crochets, chain 1, and work my 12 single crochets back again. And I'll come and work this side with you again. So after completing 12 single crochets, I'll move to the next stitch, which is this. Slip stitch here, 1, and you slip stitch here, 2. Again, you turn, you skip the 2 slip stitches, and you start working in your single crochet. So I'll go ahead, work my 12 single crochets, chain 1, then work my 12 single crochet back, and I'll come and show you how we are going to work here again. So I have my 12 single crochets. Then this is the last stitch we have here. I'm going to make a slip stitch, and I'll just slip stitch into this chain 1 space that we have here. I'll slip stitch there. Then turn. As you can see, whenever we are turning, we are not chaining. So I'll skip the 2 slip stitches and I'll go into my single crochet, complete my 12 single crochet, and fasten off. So we have the first side completed. As you can see what it looks like. So we are going to be working this second side. So with the same color, grab my yarn, and we are going to turn to the back like this, and we are going to be working this way. And this is where we are going to be working our buttonhole. So we are going to start here. So I will go ahead and work my 12 single crochets, and when I get here, I'll come and show you how we are going to work our slip stitches. So I have my 12 single crochets done, and after that, the last place where we did our slip stitch was this chain 1 space. So we have the front loop left here, so that's where we are going to start. So you do 1, you move to the next, do your second slip stitch, 2, then you turn, you skip the 2 slip stitches, then you start working your single crochet. So I will go ahead, complete my single crochet, and work my way back here, and I'll come and show you how we are going to slip stitch here again. So after completing 12 single crochets, just pick the front loop, 1 and 2, then you turn, and you skip the 2 slip stitches, then you start working your single crochet. This is where we are going to work our what's it called, our buttonhole. So we have 1, 2, 3, 3, I will chain up 2, then I'll skip 2 stitches, 1 2, then I'll work 1 2 2 3, 1 2, then chain 2, 1 2, skip 2, 1 2, and I'll work 2 single crochet into the last 2 stitches. So we just did our buttonhole. I worked 3 single crochets, I chained 2, skip 2 stitches, 3 single crochets, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, then 2 single crochet in the last 2 stitches. That was what I did. So the next row, you chain and turn. You start working your normal single crochet. When you get to your chain 2 space, work 2 single crochets inside, then continue my single crochet, 1 2 3, then 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, sorry, then 3 single crochets, 1 2, then 3. And after that we are going to do our normal slip stitches. Right here, 1 and 2, skip that and start working your single crochet. So I will just go ahead, work my single crochet, then come back, work my slip stitch. So you just go ahead and complete the remaining. You are going to be working at the back. We did 8 rows in total. You are going to be doing the same thing here. We have 1 2 3 4 5 done. We are working the 6th, so we have 2 more rows to go. So go ahead and complete that. So after completing that, I fasten off my yarn, and this is, as you can see, the buttonholes. So this is what we have right now. So right now, before we join, we are going to be working the sleeve. The armhole I'm working with is 10 inches. So I'm going to be leaving some sizes on the screen. So for 0 to 12, for 6 to 12 months, you should be working around 9 inches. 0 to 6 months, you should be working around 8.58 inches. So you are going to make a chain that's around that length, and you are going to start working. Make sure it's a multiple of 4, just like we did for the pattern, and you are going to start working the pattern. You're going to repeat this until you get to the desired length that you want for your sleeve. As for me, I'll be working around 4 to 4.5 inches for the length of my sleeve. And also make sure that your final row of your sleeve is this. You always work your final row like this. So I will go ahead, make my sleeve, make 2 pieces. When I have that, all we have left is come and join our pieces together and work our collar. Then our shirt will be ready. So here is my sleeve. As you can see, here is my final round. As you can see, that I finished with the same way we finished our panels, and I finished in this deep color because that's like my main color. So I'm trying to find my measuring tape so that I can take the measurement of this. It's actually 4.5 inches. I can't find my tape measure around here. So this is around 4.5 inches. So this is what I'll be working with. So right now we are going to start joining our pieces together so that we can just get done with the project already. So we are going to be starting with the panels. So you're going to locate your front side. This is the front. This is my front. Or you can work with any of this thing you want. This pattern of, it's actually almost the same thing but slightly different. So this is the front for me. I'll be placing that like this, and obviously this is the front for our front panel where we did our collar. So I'll be turning that like that, and we have the right sides facing each other, so we'll be joining on the wrong side. So I'll grab my hook. I have yarn tail left. If you don't, you just go ahead and grab your yarn and join. So I'll go in here, and I will go right here to the first stitch here at the back, join with, going to pull through, trying to pull through, yeah. So I'm going to make a chain, then we start working single crochet. So I'll go in, work a single crochet, okay, that's one. I'll go into the next, I'll work this, and I'll go into the next one at the back as well, work a single crochet. I'll go into the next one here, I'll go into the next one here, work a single crochet. So I will just go ahead and work single crochet until I have this joined, and I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. And when I have this done, I'll come and show you what next to do. So I have my sleeve is 10 inches. So I have this joint, sorry, I have this joint already. So we are going to be adding our our sleeves. So this is the wrong side. I'll make sure my sleeve also is facing the wrong side, and we are going to be picking 5 inches from each panel here. Remember, we have the back and the front panel, so we want 10 inches, right? So this is the blue and the blue here, pink. Okay, I think we are going to have it here, the first row of this pink and the first row. Make sure it's the same line with the panels. We are picking the same line. So the first row of the pink and the first row of the pink here, that's where I'm going to be marking. So the first row here, and I'm going to be picking here, picking the wrong side. Remember, we are joining the wrong sides together. So I'll do the same thing here, 1 2 and 1 2. So the first row here, and I'll do the same thing, pick my first stitch here. So now I'll do the same thing and mark the second sleeve. So I'll be using my white yarn to join. So I'll be joining with single crochet. So to join, we are actually going to have more stitches here than here, because remember, these are 2 we are working 2 single crochet on each row, and after my calculations we'll be working total of 64 stitches there, and this right here is 55 stitches. As you can see, it is more than this, almost 10 stitches different. So here's what we are going to do. After joining with 7 single crochets, you are going to be joining the 8th stitch here with the same 7 stitches at the back. So more like we are joining 2 stitches in the front to the back, because we have more stitches in the front than the back. How that makes sense? We have more stitches on the panel than the sleeve. So after joining 7 single crochets, the 8th stitch in the front is going back to the 7th stitch at the back. So you repeat that until you get to the end. So you are going to have that well distributed. So I'll go right here. This is the first row, right? So 2 single crochets. I'll go in here. I'll show you how to do what I'm talking about. So I'll be hiding my hands along. So I'll go in here. I'll go into the first stitch at the back and work my first single crochet. So that's 1. I'll go right here. I'll go into the next stitch at the back. That's 2. I'll go in here. I'll go into the next stitch at the back. That's 3. I'll go into that same space. Remember, we are working 2 single crochets for each. 3. I'll go into the chain 1 space at the back. That's 4. Go into the next. Go in here. Go into the next stitch at the back. That's 5. Go in here. I'll go into the next stitch at the back. That's 6. I'll go in. I'll go into the next stitch at the back. That's 7. So the 8th stitch, which is going to be here as well, you go in and go back into that same stitch at the back where you enter your previous stitch. So we joined 2 stitches to 1. So that's how we'll keep repeating until we have this joined. After that, I will go ahead and join the second sleeve as well. So after that, we'll come back, join the body and work our collar. So this is what I have after joining my sleeves. So right now we are going to be joining the body. So I'll be using my white yarn and I'll be hiding these ends along. So I'm going to start right here from the top, right here, and walk all the way down. So I'll go right inside, come out at the back. I'll grab my white yarn. We're just going to be working two single crochets on each row. So I'll go in at the back, work a single crochet, same row at the back as well, 2 single crochets. So I'll just go ahead with this, work my single crochet all the way till I get to the end here, fasten off, and also repeat the same thing for the second side. But when I get to the base here for the second side, I'm not going to fasten off. We are going to be working around our entire the base of our shirt. So I have it joined, as you can see. This is what we have. So I'm going to be flipping this. Remember I said we shouldn't fasten off, so I'm going to turn this to the right side, and I'll come and show you what to do. So after turning to the right side, I'm going to chain one. We are going to work 1 single crochet into each and every of our stitches. Just one single crochet. So in the chain 1 space, you work 1 single crochet inside, and into your stitches you work 1 single crochet. So I'll go ahead and do this all the way around until I get back here, and after that I'll slip stitch into the very first single crochet and fasten off. So after working that, we are now going to work on the last thing, which is the collar. So for the collar, I want something structured and thick, so I'll be working with 2 strands using the same hook. So I'm going to make a slip knot, and we are going to start working. You see right here where we worked our single crochet, we are going to start working from where we start our decrease, which is, for me, which is the second line of this, the second row of this navy blue. So I'll go right in, join my yarn with a chain, then we are going to start working half double crochets. So I work 1 and into this space, so more like two half double crochets in each row. So for here I'm going to work 1 in here, 2 half double crochet for each row. So this is the next row. I'll go in 1 and I had 1 more, 2. Okay, I'll pick that again, 2. Yeah, so the next is this color. So I work my first one here, 1, and I work the second one here, 2. Then the next one is right here, the second row of this color, 2 half double crochets, 1, work the second one here, 2. And the last row of decrease that we are working is on our pink, 1, second one we go here, 2. So I have this space right here. Here I worked my last stitch here. I'm going to work a half double crochet there, and we'll start working half double crochet into each and every of our stitches. Work 1 half double crochet. So you're going to work that all the way, and when you get to this side, you repeat the same thing, 2 half double crochets on each side. So this is what I have after getting to the end. So right now we are going to start shaping our collar. So I'll chain 1 and turn. We're always going to start with 2 half double crochets. So into that very first stitch, I'll go in, I'll work my first half double crochet, then I'll go back and add 1 more. After that, I'll just go ahead and work 1 half double crochet into every of my stitches until I get to the end here, and the end here I'll work 2 half double crochet into the last stitch. So after that, I'll chain 1, turn, 2 half double crochet into the very first stitch, work 1 half double crochet into my remaining stitches. When I get to the end here, I'll work 2 half double crochet into the last. So that's what we are going to be keep repeating. I'll keep repeating this until my collar is around 2 inches in height. So when I have my 2 inches, I will come and show you what to do. So here is my shirt. This is what it looks like, and for the final row we'll be doing, remember I said we should continue until we have 2 inches. So I have my 2 inches and I did 6 rows in total. So the final row, this is what we are going to do. Make sure that we work the final row on the right side. So I'm going to chain one and fasten this off. And for the final row, we are going to start working from here, where this extended part where we have our buttonholes. So I'm going to make a slip knot. Now we'll go right here, enter. Remember we worked 8 rows of single crochets, so we'll be working 8 single crochets across. So I'll join with the chain. I'm still using my double strand. So starting from that very first row, so 1, I move to the next 2, 3, 4, 4 to the next 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7. Make sure you complete your 8 single crochets, 7, and finally 8. So we have our 8 single crochets completed. So we are moving like this upwards. So right here by this side, you work a single crochet there. Into the space here, work a single crochet, and into our half double crochet we are going to work a single crochet for on each row. So right here I did 6 rows in total, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think I ended up doing 2 single crochets in I ended up doing 3 single crochets between 2 rows. So I had more than 6 single crochets along. So when I get to the top here, into this place, I'm going to work 2 single crochets inside. That's our corner, and I'll go ahead and work 1 single crochet on my stitches. When I get to this corner, I'll work 2 single crochets. Then I'll go ahead, work single crochet across and also down to this place. So when I get to this place, I will chain 1, fasten off, and I will go ahead, add my buttons, and I will come and show you my finished shirt. So here is my finished shirt. This is what it looks like, and after adding my button, so this is what we have. And I hope you were able to make yours. If you find the video useful, please give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, and also if you would like to support, kindly subscribe to my membership plan or purchase any of my pattern. I have the link to the to my website on where to purchase my pattern. I have it in the description box. Also, you can use the super thanks just to support. And also, yeah, by next week I think we should be adding a matching short to this. The pattern is quite fun to work with. Yeah, so let's see if we can work a short for this shirt. And after that we'll be working another beautiful dress for our baby girls. So if you're not yet a subscriber, please subscribe, go through the channel. You will see we have tons of tutorial available on the channel. So until next week, take care, bye.